Um, our last presenter today is Melanie Gillum, and Melanie, I have fully lost track of time here. So if you could take about 10 minutes in your presentation, that would be great.
Oh, you are awesome. Because I was thinking, oh, I don't know if I could talk for, I don't know. I like to talk, so I'm going to keep it as brief as possible. And I'm going to talk about Magic School. So Magic School is something that I had heard the name, but I had not ever played with it. And really, have been obsessed with it since I got back from the ETC conference, and I've been using it to create quizzes, and I'll show you what that looks like. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen because you don't need to see me, and I'm going to stop sharing my camera, start sharing my screen. There we go. So I have I've cut quite a few of my tabs down, and I'm going to get rid of that, or not. So it is in our applications, and I'm going to look up Magic School. I'm using it for quite a bit of things, and let me show you what that looks like. When you first sign up, it is for free. It is on our app. We get the free app, but when you sign up, you get, I believe, 15 days, 15 or 20 days for free. And it's the paid version. So the paid version is not incredibly different. And the only I think the only difference for us is that we won't be able to export things after that, but there is a workaround. So let me show you what it looks like. So they do have Raina, by the way, which is the chat bot, somewhat like, I don't want to say Siri's name because then my phone comes on. But anyway, so I have my favorites already. And it's really cool. It has a standards unpacker, which, if you remember, year ago, 2 years ago, it was all about unpacking the standards. Well, this does it for us. So I could put in a standard, and I'll just put in one that I have for 5th grade because I teach 5th grade. And it's, let's do math. So NBT 3. And all I have to do is generate. I'm just loving it. And it is making even our PLC, when we start talking about the standards, we know which standard we're working on, but I'm like able to go, hey, you guys, now we have, I can unpack that standard and see specifically, like, what can I do maybe that I'm not doing when we're looking at where the students are struggling. So it gives us ideas. It gives us ideas for assessments. It gives us instructional ideas. It tells you what your learning targets are, what our expectations are, which is very handy. Maybe you're super busy like everybody is, and we want to make sure that we have our learning targets. That's what I call mine, but our objectives on the board, and it's done for us. I still like to check everything, and particularly I'll show you the math. It's pretty spot on in terms of when we're doing our standards unpacking, but when I'm creating quizzes, and I've been doing a lot of multiple choice assessments, almost all of the answers that they give you, A, B, C, or D, are incorrect. So so you really have to know, you can't just be something that you like, oh, hey, this is cool, I'm going to use it with fidelity without looking at what they're providing. And I have to say, the multiple choice assessments, the questions are great, but the answers are not so hot. And so as long as you know what the answer is to your question, I would just replace that so you have the answer within it. And I'm doing all of my assessments in Schoology, so I can show you what that looks like. But you go into multiple choice assessments, you've got your grade, and it asks you how many questions. I was pulling 20 at a time so that I have just 3 weeks worth of exit tickets. And then I also, just because I put them in Schoology, well, now I just see the information, and it's pretty quick. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put my same standard NBT3, and it's going to pull up for me some pretty fabulous things. Gives you the answer key or what it thinks is the answer. Always check it, like I said. But what's kind of cool is it at the bottom, you can ask, like, what's a common misconception regarding this standard? And it will pull those up. And that's pretty handy. Some of us, I mean, we can't think of everything. So it's pretty handy to do that. But for instance, here, if I just hold my, put my mouse or whatever on the side, right now I can copy it, I can save my resources, or I can export it. So as I think I have until the 10th of March to continue to do this, which is cool. But otherwise, I've just been saving them and putting them into I have a collaboration folder with my PLC team, and it looks like this. We have our CASP practice and then our standards-based quizzes. You can do that for both math and ELA. And so I'll just take that. This is order of operations, and there's my quiz. It looks funky for us here, but that's particular to, it's like you're seeing the back end of the Schoology assessment, but when the students see it, they will see it and it looks correct. So I put it in there. You can see those are my questions. It shows the grading. I haven't pushed this out yet, so it hasn't been graded, but then it will report. And that's pretty handy. Another thing that I've been using it for, and I'm just going to go back. I can also share things. Besides the standards unpacker, multiple choice assessments, the song generator, I used this week, not for a song, but for a poem. And what is that? And it was based on Dr. Seuss. So I put in Reading is Funtacular. That was my song title. And I put in Mrs. Gillum's class, 5th grade. I put in recess, and I don't know what else I put in. We'll just do that. And then I said, okay, I want it to be like Shakira Waka Waka to that sound. And so here we go. We got a song. And of course, as always, I'm going to check it to make sure that it's appropriate. But it's so fun. And then I would pull up the music, the background music. So like a karaoke without the without the words. And we would try and sing the song. So it's pretty cool. And like I said, for this week, which is Read Across America, everything is about Dr. Seuss. So I did one in Dr. Seuss style, and everything was rhyming. So it was super fun. And I think that the big kids loved it, but I think the littles would love it just as much. And it's also fun if you want. I did one for electricity. So I've really been kind of just playing with it. They're also, excuse me, this custom chatbot. I have not played with that, to be honest, yet. But if you star something, then that's going to show up at the top. They have all these other kinds of tools. They have lesson planning, report card comments. Awesome. If you want to just say you've got a group of boys, I would just choose he. And I would say areas of strength, great communicator. You know what that means. He talks too much. And areas of growth, focusing during class. And that pretty much goes for all of my 5th grade boys. Oh, sorry, my timer. I have about 30 seconds. And I'm going to generate it. So you could actually just, as long as it looks good to you, copy and paste those into your students' report cards. It really is a time saver. Awesome. So I think am I at 10 minutes, Alex?
You got maybe like a minute or so left if there's any final
Cool.
tools that you want to share.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So the other thing that I did was I have been, because for all of us, the big push is to reclassify. So I would do, again, under multiple choice assessment, I'm going to put LPAC, and I'm going to put reading questions. Let's just put LPAC reading. Okay, so these are basic questions, not what I want. So I would say LPAC reading and writing for students, and it pulls up some really great questions. So that's really all I've got for this. I mean, like I said, it's been 2 weeks since I've been using this, and I love it. You can also go to YouTube. You can find a video and put the video link in, and it will actually generate questions according to that video, which is awesome. There is a rubric generator, so you can have it write your rubric. Text dependent questions. I took a text, and you just paste it in, and it will generate questions for you. You can do feedback. The IEP generator, for those who are SPED, I understand, and I haven't used it yet, but nor do I have a reason to use it. But for those who are, special ed, this might really be cool. You can also, I don't want my students to know about this, because then they would just copy and summarize the life out of everything. So translation, you can also do DOK questions, which are pretty cool. Write a math story, and you can have it, you can choose like Indiana Jones, and the characters will change. So teacher jokes, of course, proofreading, unit plan generators. It's just got so much. Jeopardy game review, that's really fun. I did that with my students one day. And it set up the leaderboard for me. Of course, spiral review, choice boards, letters of recommendation. That would be great for our upper, our high school teachers. Vocab list generators. It's just got so much. But the caveat and the warning is, make sure you read everything that comes through. Just as we know, it's AI. It's not smarter than us. It's like garbage in, garbage out. It's as smart as we are, is it's learning. So anyway, that's it for me.
Thank you, Melanie. That was fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again.